Arsenal are reportedly eyeing a late move for Bayer Leverkusen defender Piero Hincapie as they look to further strengthen their defensive options before the window closes. The big question many are asking is whether Arsenal really need another central defender given how stacked their squad already looks in that department. James raised the same point, noting that the Gunners already have plenty of defensive depth, so the need for another centre-back doesn't seem obvious. But at the same time, Arsenal's pursuit of Hincapie is being viewed as more of a strategic opportunity than a desperate necessity. When you look across their squad, Arsenal have an impressive range of options in almost every defensive position, not to mention strong competition among goalkeepers. Alexander Zinchenko, however, is expected to leave, which would open up another slot at left back. Jakub Kiwior has done a solid job when called upon, but Arsenal are thought to be considering an upgrade, with Kiwior now close to moving to Porto on loan with an obligation to buy for around £26 million. Hincapie, meanwhile, has been a consistent performer in the Bundesliga with 4 strong seasons at Leverkusen, showing his ability both as a left-sided centre-back and as a left-back when needed. This move isn't just about adding another body to the backline. It's also about planning for contingencies. Arsenal's title push in recent years has been derailed by key injuries. Gabriel missed matches last season, while William Saliba's absence the year before proved pivotal in costing them momentum. Bringing in someone like Hincapie gives Mikel Arteta additional cover and flexibility, ensuring that if injuries strike again, Arsenal won't be caught short. Even though some argue Arsenal don't desperately need him, there's a sense that this is a rare chance to bring in a top-quality defender who could prove vital not only this season but for years ahead. Looking more broadly, Arsenal's approach this year suggests they are determined to leave nothing to chance. They have spent heavily, backed Arteta fully, and ensured almost every position has depth. History shows that strong defenses are often what separate title winners from the rest. Liverpool collapsed defensively when Virgil van Dijk was sidelined, City had their struggles with constant defensive injuries last year, and Chelsea during their peak years thrived on a rock-solid backline built around players like Terry and Carvalho. Arsenal appear to be learning from these examples and are keen to guard against a similar collapse by making sure their defense remains as robust as possible. In essence, it's one out, one in, Kiwior departing and Hincapie stepping in, though for a significant investment. Away from defensive matters, one of the big talking points at Arsenal right now is the emergence of 15-year-old Max Damon, who has been turning heads with his remarkable performances. For someone so young to be playing at Premier League level is almost unheard of, and it raises the question of how Arsenal should manage his development. Should he stay with the club, gradually earning minutes in the first team, or should he seek regular playing time elsewhere? Dan, who coaches Watford's under-18s, believes that staying put is the right path. He argues that Max doesn't need a loan move yet and that remaining under Arteta's guidance, training daily with elite players like Odegaard, Rice, and Jesus, will only accelerate his growth. The example of Phil Foden at Manchester City is a useful comparison. Despite calls for him to go on loan, City kept him close to the first-team environment where he learned from world-class teammates like Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva. Eventually, he broke through, and the patience paid off. Arsenal seem to be adopting the same approach with Damon, ensuring he continues to develop in a nurturing environment without the pressure of having to deliver week in, week out for another Premier League club. His talent is so clear that he has already bypassed the under-18 level, spending significant time training with the senior squad, which is a testament to his ability. In fact, his rise has been so impressive that it's overshadowing other young talents at Arsenal, such as Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly, who are also highly regarded. But Damon's unique ability and maturity at such a young age make him stand out as a special prospect. At only 15 years old, he represents Arsenal's future, and the club will need to handle his development carefully to ensure he reaches his full potential. Hincapie fits the bill perfectly. Only 22 years old, he has already accumulated 4 solid seasons at Leverkusen, proving himself as a starter in one of Europe's toughest leagues. His ability to play not just as a left-sided center-back but also as a left-back gives Arteta more tactical flexibility. That positional versatility could prove invaluable, especially in a season where Arsenal will be fighting on multiple fronts. The Premier League, Champions League, domestic cups, and squad rotation will be key. Even though Arsenal might not desperately need him in the short term, the signing would give them security and strengthen the squad for the long haul. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, ensuring they don't find themselves short when injuries inevitably occur. Meanwhile, developments around current squad members suggest Arsenal are preparing for change. Jakub Kiwior looks set to join Porto on an initial loan with an obligation to buy in a package worth around £26 million. Zinchenko is also expected to depart, which would leave Arsenal with one fewer option at left back. Replacing Kiwior with Hincapie makes sense in that context. One out, one in, but with an upgrade in quality. While the price tag may be hefty, Arsenal's recent transfer business shows they are willing to invest big when they believe a player can be crucial to their plans. The broader strategy is clear. Arsenal are leaving nothing to chance this season. They have invested heavily, backed Arteta fully, and are determined to build a squad that can compete with Manchester City over the course of a grueling campaign. History shows how fragile title challenges can be without defensive solidity. Liverpool collapsed in 2020-21 when Virgil van Dijk suffered a long-term injury. Manchester City struggled at times last season due to defensive injuries forcing constant reshuffling. And if you look back further, the Chelsea team of the mid-2000s dominated largely because of the rock-solid foundation provided by John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, and William Gallas. The old saying that defenses win titles still rings true, and Arsenal appear to be making sure that their backline is as resilient as possible. But it's not only experienced signings that are making headlines at Arsenal. Alongside their pursuit of Hincapie, the rise of 15-year-old Max Damon has captured the imagination of supporters. His recent performances at such a young age have been nothing short of extraordinary, sparking debates about how Arsenal should handle his development. At just 15, he is already playing with a maturity well beyond his years, and that naturally raises the question: should he remain at Arsenal, carefully nurtured into the first team, or should he seek regular Premier League minutes elsewhere? Dan, Watford's under-18 coach, weighed in on the matter and argued strongly that staying at Arsenal is the best path. He believes Max is ready to play but insists that a loan move at this age would not be beneficial. Remaining under Arteta's guidance, training daily with the senior squad, and learning from world-class players like Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Gabriel Jesus will do far more for his development than chasing playing time at another club. Dan compared his situation to Phil Foden at Manchester City, who was carefully managed and never sent out on loan despite calls for it. Instead, Foden learned from legends like Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva, and when the time came, he was fully prepared to step into the first team. Arsenal appear to be taking a similar long-term approach with Damon.